Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, August 10th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started with our analysis for this morning. So just give me a few moments to finish updating everything here, and then we can get started shortly. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. All right, looks like everything is good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. So looks good. All right, I'll give it a few minutes for people to make their way in, and then we can get started shortly. All right, so as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and check out the news. I think there was only one big news event this morning, which was the CPI, core CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, which is based off the inflation here in the US. So it's a pretty high impact economic news event that happened right here at 5:30. That's why you guys saw that big spike right here at that same exact time. So right here at 5:30, we had this news event, which is a consumer price index. It's just an update on inflation here in the US. Obviously, it's not good because we're going, or not necessarily good or bad, but it's, there's a big impact in the market because of the depression that we're going into. But we'll see. So it was negative here. You guys can see the manipulation. It was negative, but price went up. Literally makes no sense, right? So we'll see how this moves when the market does actually open here in the next 6 minutes. But we're just going to keep that marked up so that we're aware. We have another news event coming up right here at 7 o'clock. We had final wholesale inventories, and then 7:30 crude oil inventories. And I think that's about it. Later on today, we have a couple other news events, 10-year bond auction, federal budget balance, and that's about it. But for the most part, during this live session, we're going to have two more events coming up at 7 and 7:30, which are light impact, but we will still pay attention to it and make sure that we don't trade during those times, because it doesn't really matter if it's high impact, low impact, medium impact. It'll still impact the market one way or another. So we got that marked up right there. But yeah, other than that, let's see who's here. So let's see. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Peter. Morning, Steven. Morning, David. Morning, Marlon. Morning, everybody. As you guys can see, I'm back here in my office in California. So I'm back from Hawaii, thankfully. It was a long trip, but I'm ready to be back home. So it's normal time here, 6:25. I don't have to wake up at 2 a.m. anymore. So it's a relief. Anyways, market is opening up shortly in the next 5 minutes. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Morning, Stern. Morning, Al. Morning, Karen. Morning, Matt. Looks like half you guys are in the room right now. So I'll get a few more minutes for people to continue joining once everyone's in here. We can get started. While people are still joining, let's take a look at the overall bias for today. So looking over here at the retail sentiment, it is currently 67% short, indicating that 67% of retail traders are currently selling. Looks like a lot of people are trying to call it top, as they have been for the past couple days now. And you can, as you guys can see, price has not dropped at all. It just keeps going up higher and higher and higher. So don't follow what everybody else is doing. I'm sure a lot of people are trying to sell. And if you guys have seen other trading groups, I've seen some other signal groups. Everyone in the trading space kind of knows everybody. I've seen a lot of people call sells, and a lot of people are getting burnt time after time. So don't follow what everybody else is doing, follow your own analysis and typically try to do the opposite. So I'm doing the opposite of everyone else. I'm trying to look for some more buys here. Also looking over at the fundamentals, are currently at 413 points. So everything here is indicating a buy, but that can be an issue. If everything here is so obvious to take a buy, don't just take every buy, right? Only take something if your analysis provides for a buy, because you're going to see some manipulation. If everyone sees this, that price is going up, people are going to keep buying and price is probably going to drop a little bit. It's probably going to be manipulated to the downside. So what I see happening right here is price may come down, fill the gap, basically this big candle right here, the news candle, and then it'll come back up. It might not come down all the way, but it might come down a bit just to fill some of this and maybe lure in some more sellers, because there's a lot of sellers in the market. They're obviously not going to drop it all the way because they're not going to make it that easy for people to win, right? So we'll see what happens when the market opens, but we're definitely going to be looking for some buys overall. Whether the trend here starts to shift, we might shift our direction for our scalps, but overall we're looking for buys today. So overall bias is bullish. Short-term bias is bullish. You can see the trend here is very bullish. Price is above the pivots, green pivots over red, trend meter is green. Everything's indicating a buy. So there's nothing here telling us to take any sells, but you just want to be careful. Don't just take a buy for no reason, right? Because you might get caught in some drawdown based off the pullback from this big push right here from the news candle earlier. We do have a couple zones right here. I'll just mark these up to make it easier for you guys to follow. So a couple zones right there. Got the sessions on. Looks like we're good to go. Thanks, Peter. Peter said in 33 minutes, President Biden delivers remarks and signs the PAC Act of 2022. I don't know what that is, but the PAC Act is promises to address Comprehensive Toxics Act of 2022. I don't know what that is, but Biden is going to be speaking, which is never a good thing. So we'll keep that in mind as well. But it's 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 1 minute. So let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, Frazier said if the breakout is a buy, I think I'll skip it. That news candle is crazy. Yeah, you want to be careful because it's way overextended. So just looking at this candle right here, it's way overextended. So you want to be careful about entering anything at the moment. And just be patient, guys. Just wait. Keep in mind that you're likely, like, you're probably going to see a manipulation. You're going to see a lot of manipulation on open. Just be aware of that, because this candle here is so big. There's basically people in the market betting whether price is going to correct back down or if it's going to keep pushing up. So you can get screwed either way, because price can literally go either way, or it might just go sideways. That's going to be something that you want to be careful for as well. If it goes sideways, you're going to be stressed out the entire time because you're not really going to know, what direction price is going. So, all right, market is opening in about 4, 3, 2, and 1. The market is now open. So there goes the opening candle right here. We'll see where it goes. There's no wick rejection off the structure right here. As a reminder, guys, I'm mainly looking for K2SR rejection entries and high-low scalps, because those complement each other. I'm not trying to confuse you guys here by taking multiple different strategies with regard to scalping. Variations and these high-low rejections are completely opposite. So I don't want to mix them up. So I'm only going to be looking for K2SR rejection entries and high-low scalps. Later on, once you guys are familiar with the strategy, we'll be covering it in detail today during the mentoring session. Then I'll start mixing up the strategies. But right now, we're just going to focus on 2 of them at the moment, which is the K2SR rejection, maybe 3 pivot scalps if it does come up and it looks good. But for the most part, we're going to be a bit cautious with these entries here. So there's no entry off here yet. We're looking for a wick rejection off of one of these K2SR zones. We also want to see price moving in the direction of momentum. So right here, nothing there yet still. Just looking at this though, it looks like price is in a range. So there's a low point right there, high point right there. Price is like literally ranging right here sideways. It's going to be a bit difficult to see on here. I'll go here on the clean chart. Here's an easier way to see it. So we got that high right there, that low right there. So looking here on the clean chart, you guys can see that there is not really much going on. Price is pretty much just ranging right here. So there's a clean markup right there. Nothing for you guys to take at the moment, which is fine. Just got to stay patient and wait for this to present itself. So it's doing kind of what we were anticipating. There was 3 different scenarios that could have played out on open right here. Price would have either pushed up, pushed down, or just went sideways. As you guys can see, a lot of people are not trading right now. They're waiting. They're waiting just like we are. They're waiting for price to really push one direction or the other before they start to chase it. But the thing is, you also don't want to chase it when it pushes that way. You want to wait for it to actually confirm, because it can push one way, then it can come back down, or it can push down and push right back up, or it'll just keep going sideways until the direction has been confirmed. Since price is pretty much ranging right here, what you would be looking for is you would be looking for price to break outside of the range, either above or below. And then you'd wait for it to retest and confirm, right? Retest and confirm. Don't just enter right away. Don't chase it. So looking at price right now, nothing's going on. It's pretty much just going sideways. You want to get a buy signal here in order for us to take this K2SR rejection. So we want a buy signal to close here, and then basically we want it to come back down, retest, and confirm. Right now we don't got anything. Yeah, David said price is moving like Asia sesh. Yeah, it's not really moving at all, guys, which is unusual for New York. Somewhat unusual for how New York typically moves, but it's not very unusual because it seems like everyone's kind of just sitting on their hands right now, waiting for some sort of confirmation here. Hey Ross, morning. All right, if this closes here with a buy signal, this may possibly be an SR. This might be an SR rejection. But we'll see. So there's nothing there yet. If it closes below, then no. But we need a wick rejection off the structure, then we also need a buy signal. So if this pushes up higher, there's going to be wick rejection up there. So if this candle closes green, there'll be a wick rejection because price has already passed through it. If we just need that buy signal, but it doesn't look like it's happening here. Nope. So nothing there, but the buys is still bullish. All right, let me clean this up a little bit right here. The range has actually gotten tighter. So there goes the range right there. We had the bigger range right there, and now the range just tightened up a bit. So now it's a range within a range. And this is cool. This is what we're looking for. We want price to squeeze like this. Whenever price squeezes like this, it's just preparing for a breakout. So as price starts to get tighter and tighter and tighter, it's going to break out one way or the other, right? It's going to push up or it's going to push down. But it's really about just being patient, guys. Don't chase this move. Don't try to guess. If you try to guess, you're probably going to guess wrong, honestly. It's not a good time to take any risks right now. Because you can tell there's nobody trading, because typically this would be moving at least like 1,000 pips, right? Our breakout usually moves like at least 500 pips. So let me just measure this real quick. It hasn't moved anything near that. So if you would have taken the breakout right here, it hasn't really moved at all, right? Because this technically would have been the breakout, it looks like. It just would have been ranging back and forth this entire time. So let me go over here and just mark up opening price. We do got news coming up in about see 24 minutes. We also got Biden speaking in about 24 minutes too. So you want to be careful for that. I'm going to mark up opening price, which is going to be right here. That blue line is going to be opening price. And that's about it. So you can see the structure right there. Not really much going on at all. All right, this is cool. So what I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for price push back down here, maybe reject off this point, provide a buy signal, and then continue back up. Or, I mean, this can even happen right here. The only problem with us getting the rejection right here is that it's going to be so close to the opening price that might be a risky entry to take this here. So we'll see if this closes here with the buy signal. Yeah, there's no breakout, Steven. You wouldn't take the breakout because it's opposite. The bias is looking for the bias is bullish. So you wouldn't take the sell here, even though the breakout was a sell. Thanks, D. Yeah, D also mentioned spread is also higher than normal. So spread right now is 190. It's typically around like 120, 140. So it is a bit high right now. It's kind of like yesterday. Yesterday market was kind of moving weird. Today market's moving weird, just the same. It's just a weird week in general. Last week market was moving pretty smooth. But yesterday market was kind of moving like this. Today it's still moving the same. Not much of a difference. All right, we got this buy signal right here, but there is no wick rejection off of the structure. So even though we have this buy signal right here, no wick rejection off the structure, it can technically pass as a pivot scalp entry, but it's right at news price. So red flag still present. So red flags right here. This is when you want to avoid trades when prices near the sessions, prices near opening price, prices near news price, candle prior to entry is too large, and prices ranging. Randy's asking, what was the news that caused this, by the way? It was the core CPI and CPI, Randy, which stands for Consumer Price Index. Consumer Price Index underlies the inflation news here in the US. So it's a pretty big news event, especially with us going into a recession. So the news was negative. So that price movement was manipulation. It was negative right here because everyone is anticipating it to be negative, right? If we're going to a recession, it's going to be negative. There's no reason for it to be green. It's obviously negative. So with it being negative like that, everyone was like basically indicating a sell, right? Everyone's looking for a sell. What happened? Price got manipulated. It pushed up like 4,000 pips basically. So this right here is straight manipulation. There's no reason for it to go up like this. Literally no reason. The main reason it went up like this is because everyone was selling. You look at the IG sentiment right here. So many people were selling, basically praying that price is going to drop. Market got manipulated, went straight up for no reason. And then now it's just going sideways. So yeah, exactly. Ross said it was less than expected, and I agree 100%. And it's been less than expected for like the past couple of months, I believe, right? I don't know for sure, but if it's continually negative or less than expected, then it just confirms that we're going into a recession. So if you guys watch CNBC later today, I'm pretty sure they will explain that more in detail. I have no economics background, so I can't give you guys a clear explanation as to like how the fundamentals work. But from my basic understanding, if it's like continuously negative or less than expected, then it just gives us a stronger confirmation that we're going into a recession if we're not already in one. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'm a lawyer, not an economist. So I mean, so I don't know any details with regard to the economy. I've never taken an economy class in my life. It's just stuff that I learned from like looking at markets and following economic news. So yeah, don't quote me on like any of this fundamental stuff. But I mean, you guys can probably find out yourself. You guys can just YouTube videos, use Google searches, stuff like that if you really want to know. But realistically, I don't really care about it too much because we're scalping. So I don't care too much about these long-term moves. All right, we have this pending buy signal here. Let me go over here and just adjust this a little bit. So we're still within the range of a range. So there's a range within the range right here. It still hasn't broken outside. We do have another structure here that has appeared. So I'll just, or never mind, there it is. It keeps disappearing. I'll just mark it up right there. It'll come back up when price pushes it higher. If this here closes with a decent green candle, this would technically be a buy entry for the K2SR rejection, but the problem is that there's opening price right there. So not necessarily a good entry. It's a red flag. Let's see. Ross said less means the Fed may not raise rates as much, which is good for the market. Gotcha. Okay, Ross, that's good to know. I had no idea that's what it meant. So if this closes here as a decent green candle, I'll follow it, but I'm probably not going to take it because it's right at the red flag right here. Right. So this would technically be an entry, but it's right at opening price, which is this blue line. What I'm looking for here is for price push up higher, then the rejection happen off this point right here, off this structure. But it's like literally at the opening price. I don't even know what kind of candle that was right there. So we couldn't have taken that even if we wanted to. Yeah, Maddie said I wanted to bounce off the lower SR, no entry doji candle. Yeah, no entry off that. So, all right, guys, price is starting to push up a bit higher, which is fine. That's what we wanted. All right, this following candle may provide an entry. So we want it to pull back a little bit, reject off the structure, and then continue push to the upside. This candle here is too big. I mean, let's see how this one over here closes. The volatility is super low right now. So no wick rejection off the structure, so there wouldn't be any entry at this point. We'll catch as it comes back down. Nice. So Jamie actually took a buy here. I don't think there was actually a buy there, but you did take it, Jamie. I mean, if this was a green candle, then yeah, there was an entry there, but it didn't close properly. So I couldn't really consider that a buy, but you did take it. It looks like you took your full TP. So nice work, Jamie, off that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of times where it'll still win, even though it's not a valid entry. I don't recommend you guys enter it unless you guys have the confidence with the entry though. Unless you took the pivot scalp right here. Maybe you took this entry right here, Jamie, because there was a pivot scalp there if you took the buy. Still a risky entry because of the red flag, but either or, looks like you still hit your full TP. So nice work, Jamie. Charles over here, he took partial move of breakout. He locked me a total profit of 170. Nice work, Charles. David over here as well. Let's see. Letting this load. Going over here to Shannon. Shannon here took the buy from earlier this morning from the, it looks like she took this she took news basically. She took the news trade, locked in a total profit of 12,877. Nice work, Shannon. Looks like a lot of you guys here still follow my analysis of news. Typically, when I see news come up, I'll do the opposite. I don't typically trade news, but if and when I did, I would trade the opposite. So Shannon over here did that, blocking a solid profit. Waiting for David's here to still load up. Haven't loaded up yet. Stephen over here as well. Stephen took a buy earlier, took a profit of 205 for the day. Nice work, Stephen. Solid. Yeah, if you guys have profits, post up, feel free. I haven't taken anything myself. There's no official entries that have been taken just yet. So Kenny over here as well. He took some baby lots. I think Kenny over here is waiting for a retry on his account. So Kenny over here locked in a few penny profits, but you know, profit's profit. Nice work, Kenny. I know you have a couple days until you get that free retry or extension, so better be safe than sorry. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie said the SR zone over here disappeared, so no longer there. Thanks, bro. Yeah, thanks for the heads up. That's one thing that you guys want to keep in mind. I typically don't draw zones here. Like you guys can see here that I drew it manually. I don't draw them up like this normally, but I only do this for the live session so that you guys can follow along. I know it's hard to see because sometimes there's like a million lines on the chart, and that's why I draw my own zones. But typically I trade based off the zones that come up on the chart here. If this is too much of a confusion, just let me know, guys. I'll stop drawing this. I only drew this because I thought this would be beneficial for you guys. But if it's not, just let me know and I'll stop drawing them. I know, right, Fern? Yeah, Fern said retail accounts are getting blown. K2 accounts are blowing up. Yeah, no, definitely. You guys just gotta be patient with these entries here. Even myself, right? It's all about the discipline. Let's take a look at sentiment again. Sentiment is currently still. It's currently still 67% short. So everyone who's selling right now is pretty much getting burned right now because you guys can see this has been 60 something percent for like the past week or so, right? So like, for example, if you're selling US30 or if you're one of those people selling US30 for like the past week, basically this week started here on the 8th. So this is where market opened right here, right? So pretty much whoever's been selling, they've been getting burned because there've been massive drawdown. If you sold somewhere around here on Sunday, they're in drawdown about 6,000 pips right now. So this is why you guys want to keep looking. Like you want to make sure you keep an eye on the sentiment here and make sure to understand where everyone's trading so you don't trade in the same direction as everybody else because you're just going to get burned super heavily. It's pretty bad because there have been sellers here for like the past 2-3 weeks. And you just look at the data here, you know, you could only imagine how many people are in some massive drawdown because price just keeps going up. Like you can see right here, I marked this up in July, right? People are still selling from July up until now. If you're selling from that point, like say you sold from this point right here, right? Because you thought this was the high, you being drawdown over 10,000 pips. If you're just holding and praying that it'll come back down, it's not coming back down, guys. Don't follow the hype of everyone trying to cash the top because it hasn't dropped for like, I mean, let's go in the hour. All right, so price hasn't dropped since July 14th. Actually, since June 17th. So if you've been trying to sell since June 17th for a long-term move, you're just getting further and further into drawdown because price has been going up since June 17th. So like for the past 2 months now, price has been doing nothing but going up. So definitely do not want to fall for the hype. Yeah, Maddie said be careful for the manipulated drop. I agree, Maddie. This is why I'm just chilling around. I'm waiting for something good to come up. I'm not just following into any trades right now. It's just not worth the risk. Bobby's asking, has anyone back tested this strat during Asia or is volatility too low during that time? I've kind of played around with it, Bobby. It doesn't work very well during Asia because, as you mentioned, volatility is too low. I mean, you can probably go for a half move, like instead of 100 pips, maybe 500 pips, but or not. Instead of 100 pips, go for 50 pips. But even then, I think it's too risky because you might be stuck in that trade for like hours. You know, these trades aren't supposed to last that long. They're supposed to be in and out pretty quickly. So I personally haven't seen any good results from like Asia or London. It's been the same for both. London, not necessarily because of the volatility, but more so because of the choppiness. So that's just my observation. If you guys want to go and test it, you know, feel free to test it. But from what I've seen, it's not as accurate during Asia and London. Yeah, Maddie said, I can see it dropping a bit to give retail hope, then shoot back up. I agree, Maddie, 100%. So I can see this coming back down, which is perfectly fine. I want that to happen anyways. You know, come back down, reject off the session, K2SR, and then swing back up. Or what I'm looking for is another zone up here. That's kind of what I want. Yeah, Maddie said, It might tap the 4-hour high. People may have their stop loss there. Let me check that real quick. So Maddie mentioned the 4-hour high. So yeah, that area that Maddie referred to would be right there. So it's right at the 4-hour high. Might tap that and come back down like Maddie said, or it might just shoot right through it, Maddie. If that's the case, it might shoot right through it because if all the stop losses are sitting right, or actually there was a lot of stop losses right here. So guys, this is an area of liquidity right here on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, there was actually liquidity sitting right here. You can see here on the 4-hour chart, it actually hit that and blasted right through. So it just hit liquidity right here on the 4-hour time frame. So one of two things will happen. Price will either bounce off this, come back down, or it's going to skyrocket and shoot up even higher. But we'll see. You know, that's the benefit of analyzing it on the higher time frame and down. But it does cause a lot of noise, so I personally don't do it as much unless I'm trading on the higher time frames. But that was a good observation, Maddie. Kenny said, you want to be trading with a good group. Yeah, no, definitely, Kenny. 100%, I agree. Yeah, Patricia said it's not good for Asia and the spread kills you. I agree. Steven said I should take a buy. You should definitely not take a buy, Steven. Unless you have some sort of entry there that you have applying any of the strategies, then, you know, maybe, but you should definitely not take any trade at all unless you have some sort of strategy that you're applying. Don't just take any trade because you have a feeling that it's going to go up or you have a feeling that's going to go down. Only take a trade if you have some sort of analysis that tells you like, okay, take a buy here, okay, take a sell here, right? Thanks, Sammy. Sam said resistance on the 8-hour. Maddie said price will mess around until news is released. Seth said we're getting a new 4-hour candle in 7 minutes. I suspect there will be a 50% retracement at some point on the big candle. Yeah, no, exactly, Maddie. Maddie said today might just be another discipline day for me. Yeah, no, exactly, Maddie. Yeah, the thing to keep in mind, guys, is that you have the entire year. You don't need to get rich by tomorrow, right? I feel like a lot of people are on that mission where they feel like they need to be successful at trading within one day. This is a long-term game, guys. So what you need to focus on is not losing trades. That's the main thing you guys should be focusing on. If you guys can do that and not lose, eventually you're going to make a lot of money trading. Like if you guys have seen how I've been trading live every day for like the past 4 years, right? I rarely lose. I do lose sometimes, you know, it happens, but I rarely lose. So if you can just keep adding up your wins and not lose, you know, if you lose like once or twice a week or no times a week, the profits are just going to keep adding up. So you just got to have that discipline to sit it out when the market's moving. Like there's just nothing for you to take right now. If there was actual entries, then yeah, great, but there's nothing to take right now. I'm just looking back at the previous candles over here. There's like nothing at all. There was probably a V1 right here. Maybe one scalp that could have been taken right there, but it's kind of risky. It was right at opening price. And then there's a V3 right here. So 2 variations that could have came up, but we're not looking at variations right now. Possible SR right there that I think, I forgot who took that trade there, but someone took it earlier. I think Jamie took it, so she locked into profit off that. But other than that, there hasn't been any clean entries right now. Madhu said there's a session at 33,320 on the 4-hour as well. Gotcha. Okay. So let's go back to that 4-hour. Yeah, this candle here is huge. Just like what Seth mentioned, this candle here is going to close in about 4 minutes. What you might see is a retracement. So the retracement may be half of the candle. So this candle here is pretty big. You're probably going to see a retrace down a little bit to the halfway mark or even the full candle. And then from there, price will either correct back to the upside or it'll completely reverse, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it'll just retrace a little bit and push right back up. And there's also an Asia high right there. Thanks, Madhu. So a lot of red flags here, guys. There's a high right here off the or a sessions high low right there for the Asia high on the 4-hour. And then this candle here is just really big. So just gotta wait. Pretty much just gotta wait. Yeah, Seth said exactly where you drew the line, the top line at that support, which also happens to be the 50% retracement. Yeah, no, I agree. So right here on the 4-hour, this is going to retrace either to the halfway mark right here, or it's going to retrace to the full candle from there. It'll probably bounce back up. That's what I'm expecting. So if you see a pivot scalp here, I don't recommend taking it because it's going to have to retrace a bit. Yeah, Seth said, and Biden is speaking. Yeah, no, that too. So Biden is set to speak right here. He's set to speak right now, but let's see how long it takes for him to get to the podium. There's probably a chart for that too. If you guys want to trade, you guys are probably, if you guys have traded stuff like binary options, I know some of you guys trade binary options. Some of you guys like those types of trades that are just gambling. If you guys have seen binary options, there's like some pretty random trades that they have on there. Like they probably have a trade here indicating, you know, you can bet how much time, like it's going to take 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for Biden to get to the podium. And there's people actually betting on this stuff. Binary options are crazy. It's like, it's a straight gamble. I remember during COVID, you could vote or you could bet on like how high the COVID statistics would go up. It was pretty nuts. Like there's a couple of people in the group who trade binary options, and you can bet on anything. Like you can bet, it's like sport betting basically. You can bet on certain things, like just random stuff. Like you can bet on news. There's news for binary options. Like if you think news is going to be negative or positive, you can bet on that. And then if it goes up, obviously you win. If it goes down, you lose. Not that I recommend you guys ever trade that stuff. I did trade that stuff for a while. I did make a lot of money trading binary options. I also lost a lot of money trading binary options. So I don't recommend it. I mean, it's fun. It's gambling. It's literally like a 50% chance. It's basically like trading options, but there's like so many other things you can bet on. So if you guys want to play with it, I mean, there's a lot of scam binary option websites out there. I don't recommend actually using real money. Just open a demo account with them and play around with it. It's pretty exciting. Like I can't lie, it's exciting, but I wouldn't put any real money into it. Yeah, you said that sounds fun. Yeah, it's like a casino, right? You go to a casino and then you play like roulette or something. It's fun. It gives you that rush. Like you can, so if you trade binary options, you can trade like on the 1 minute chart or on the 1 second chart. Like it's crazy. And there's no spread. So like say, for example, you wanted to trade on the 1 second chart, right? And then say you think price is going to go up or down on this next candle, you can bet on that. Like you can bet, okay, it's going to go up or it's going to go down. And then you can make money off it. It's crazy. I don't recommend it though. Yeah, Deswell said, I hate binary options. Yeah, me too, Deswell. I'm with you on that. You like it when you're winning, but when you're losing, it's pretty bad. It becomes because the wagers are so high, you're like waging like 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 1,000 bucks on each trade. It's not like this where you can pull out partial, right? You're taking it and you're going to be risking a lot and you can't even get out of it. Once you're in it, you're trapped. Seth said your trading window is from minute to camera opens to Biden on the podium. Yeah, no, exactly, Seth. It's funny. All right, we got news right here, guys. News at 7 o'clock. Let's hope that we get some movement here. Let me just take this off. I'll just take everything off right now. We're currently on the news channel right now. Biden is supposed to be speaking right now as well. So we'll mark this up as news price once it closes in the next 10 seconds. And then once we have that marked up, we will take a look at what's next. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie said the news is positive. So let's see if price reacts to it. Looks like it is. Take this off. I'm just going to put right here, 7 a.m. news candle. I'm just going to put descriptions here. This is going to be your opening price. just so that we're aware and we're not like confused, like, hey, what's this, right? 530 CPI news. All right, so I got labels right here. If you guys are wondering what these labels are for, or what these lines are for, they are marked up right here on the right-hand side. So this is the 7 a.m. news candle. The one below it, the blue line, is opening price. The one down here is 530 CPI news. So nothing here. You can see the wick rejection off this area. It's pushing up higher. So this is why you can't really anticipate where price is going to go, right? So like, for example, at 530, news was negative, but price went down, or it went up. It did the opposite. For news right now at 7 o'clock, it was also positive, and it's actually going the direction that it's supposed to. It's going up, right? So that's why I don't trade news at all, and I don't recommend anyone trade news, because you're literally just gambling when you're trading news. It just depends on how lucky you are at that time. Going back to the 4-hour over here, the 4-hour is currently at the Asia high right here. So one of two things are going to happen here. Price is either going to retrace down, or it's going to just keep pushing up. There's a last level of liquidity right there that didn't get hit, which is going to be that Asia high, right? If that last area of liquidity gets hit, one of two things are going to happen. Price is either going to skyrocket right past it, or it's going to come back down. It's going to reject off it and come right back down. And what a slow trading day. I'm kind of glad Biden is coming on the mic right now, because he's going to cause some, man, this dude still isn't at the mic. He was scheduled to be on a few minutes ago. We'll see. He's probably going to come on like at like 7:10, 7:20. He's going to take some time to get to the podium. So he's never on time. Seth said adult diapers aren't easy to put on, man. At least from what he's heard, right? Okay, let's just analyze the overall market right now so that you guys can get a bigger picture. So let's take a look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently, you can see the number here is increasing. It's currently 68% short. So you can tell a lot of retail traders are trying to catch that top, right? This gives me confirmation that price is probably not going to drop. It's probably going to keep pushing up. It might drop slightly to lure in some more sellers, but you can see a lot of people are entering sells right now. So if price pushes up, you can expect a lot of those people to have their accounts blown. Because if you've been holding a sell for like, this is where I can see people entering sells from this point right here, right? After this big push up right here, what happens? People try to do the sell because they're waiting for that correction back down. They thought price was going to come back and correct, right? It never did. It's been pushing up ever since. So a lot of people who enter the buy right here are basically in drawdown about 1,000 pips, 1,300 pips. And then the worst part about that is that people just keep stacking on sells, right? Like everyone's kind of just, they're betting that price is going to come down. So if this number here increases, just know that more retail traders are entering sell positions. So we want to do the opposite and buy. So right now, this is indicating that 68% of retail traders are selling. We want to do the opposite and buy here because we don't want to trade where everyone else is trading. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 512 points. There's like literally no reason to sell right now, unless you're gambling, right? Everything is pointing towards a buy. There's no reason for you to sell at all. The only reason you'd sell is if you're trying to take a gamble. So right here, 512 points in the green. Looking at the heat map over here, heat map is currently completely green, almost. We got a couple stocks here that are slightly red. Walmart, it's down not even 1%. It's down 0.02%. So that's nothing. Energy over here. Chevron is currently down 0.22%. So it's not even down 1%. I mean, just looking at the heat map over here, nothing here is red. So there's no reason to take any sells. Looking over here at the actual stock index. So it's a sea of green. There's one stock here. Chevron's down less than a point. Everything is completely green. This is all up to date right now. So for everyone who's selling, they're just gambling. And, I don't blame them. A lot of people are taught that price needs to come down, right? Everyone always thinks that if price is overextended like this, price needs to come down. it should come down, but it doesn't necessarily need to come down. It's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. They think that just because price is pushed up so high, it's going to have to come down. Nope. It's probably going to do the opposite. And you can see right here, price is continuing to push up. All right, Peter, thanks for the heads up. Peter said that Biden is starting to speak. Oh man, this guy's not even at the podium yet. The camera's on, but he hasn't started yet. Is he coming? Oh, I couldn't tell that was Biden. Okay, there's Biden now. Biden and Pelosi. Yeah, Peter said brokers are rubbing their hands right now like Birdman. I agree. Yeah, Maddie said I want price to shoot up and create an SR zone to bounce off for a buy. I agree as well. Bobby said I had to stop for ice cream. I know, right? I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a lot of memes out with Biden where he's, because the deadline to search for scammers who scam the PPE loans or whatever, PVP loans, it expired like I think yesterday or a couple of days ago, and Biden extended it because he was like, "Oh, you guys aren't going to get away. We're going to find you." And there's a bunch of people who are just making memes of like scammers. They're like creating GoFundMe's to pay off their PPE loan. He's just working on a lot of stuff right now. It's just it's hard to keep up with what he's working on. Like this PAC Act, I didn't even know about this. Promises to address Comprehensive Toxics Act. I didn't even know he was passing anything like this. He's passing so many different legislations that I can't even keep up. You know, the thing is with the elections coming up soon, he's going to be passing a lot of stuff, stuff that doesn't directly affect it, but will affect it indirectly, because there's certain companies that will be affected by it. All right, price is pushing up higher. We need that retracement in order to take our scalps here, guys. Unfortunately, there's nothing here that we could have taken. There's a V3 here that came up, but again, we're not looking for any of these variations. So as you guys can see right here, there's a variation V3. Red candle followed by green candle, pinning buy momentum. Also, bias was a very strong bullish bias. So a lot of stuff here indicating a buy. Unfortunately, we're not looking at variations right now. We're looking at the SR rejections. So there just isn't anything here right now. Oh yeah, I know, definitely, Peter. Peter said like the guy who used PPE loans to buy a Lambo, then got caught for fraud. Yeah, no, there's a lot of people who got PPE loans. I was entitled to get a PPE loan as well, but I didn't get it because I didn't want to get caught up in that. Seems like a lot of people got away with it though. So I mean, I didn't necessarily need it, so that's why I didn't take it. If you really need the money, then yeah, of course, take a PPE loan. But if you don't, it's really not worth the risk. I know a couple people actually in the trading space that took PPE loans. Some people who have been in the group in the past, I'm like curious to see if they got caught up or anything, because there's some people who are in the group who just kept like they kept raving about taking PP loans to like pay for challenges and to fund their trading account, and a lot of those people I haven't even seen or talked to in a long time. So I don't know if they got caught up or what, but definitely not worth the risk. Yeah, you said locked up. Definitely. All right, guys, there's nothing here to take, man. Unfortunately, I'm still being patient, waiting for this. There's still nothing here for us to take at the moment. Looks like some of you guys here have been taking trades off my analysis though. So let me see what some of you guys took here. So Jamie over here took the buy earlier. This is the one she took at 643, blocked a nice profit of 192. Nice work, Jamie. And she let it hit her full TP. You guys can see the green strip right there. So great work off that, Jamie. She took that at 643. So it looks like she took this rejection off here. I guess she was waiting for it to close as a green candle. It was going to close as a green candle, but here it closed as a doji. So I couldn't really tell what it was, but Jamie did take it and she hit her full TP. So nice work, Jamie. Anelli over here as well. On his personal account, looks like he took the same trade, or he took the pivot scalp. So this buy signal right here at 641, You can see the timestamp of his trade. He took this at 6:41 right here for that pivot scalp. Personal account profit of $77. Nice work, Nelly. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still profiting off my analysis, even though I'm not taking anything myself. But you guys did pretty solid. Valentino over here as well. Let me just refresh my Telegram. I don't know why your profits aren't loading up. I know David's hasn't loaded up either. So David over here locked in 34 off that sell earlier. Nice work, David. And Valentino over here locked in a total profit of 3,083. So great work right there, Valentine. Looks like a lot of you guys are just taking trades off like whatever analysis or bias that I'm referring to if your trades line up with it. But there hasn't been anything for us to take at the moment. So zones are lined up fine. We got the zones down here, mark them up, so we're following it. But unfortunately, just no entries to take at the moment. It's just a lot of back and forth movement. So here goes a 4-hour right there. It did hit that area of liquidity that I mentioned. If you guys are wondering what area of liquidity am I talking about, it was this high point right here. So I'll just mark up all the liquidity right here. So I'm just going to show you guys a quick example of the liquidity pushes. I know I don't take them as much anymore. This is something that can be used in conjunction as well, though, because they're all momentum-based entries. So let me just go back to this previous candle right here. And you can probably see it better like on the 30-minute or even the 10-minute. So here's the 10-minute chart. You can just play it forward. Oh, whoops. I don't know how to use this new tool yet. This tool is kind of confusing. Okay, so let's go back to this candle right here, or prior to that. So before this candle here opened, you guys can see that there was liquidity already drawn up at this point, right? There was liquidity drawn up on the 4-hour. You can see price over here pushed up, hit liquidity. And what happened from here, price just kept pushing up higher and higher and higher until right now, current time, price pretty much knocked out all of these areas of liquidity. So if you guys are still trading liquidity pushes, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you guys can go on the higher time frame to mark up liquidity if there's any good liquidity there. Go on the shorter time frame to catch the entries, and you can see price pushes right through them. So we marked this up on the 4-hour, but you can see on the 10-minute, you can see the actual push. So that's where the liquidity here got knocked out. Price is now retracing a little bit. Let's go back to the 1-minute. All right, this is fine. This is what we want to happen right here. The only problem with this is that news price is going to be right there. So either way, it's going to be a bit of a mess. We need another zone to produce around this area right here. So if price starts to range around this area, there's going to be another zone. I'm expecting it to be somewhere like right here. So it's going to be somewhere like that. That's where I'm going to see the zone. And then from that point, we can start looking for some more scalps. But right now, there's no zone around this area. Looks like price might come back down and retest the news price right here. And then come back up. But I'm looking for that zone. So we need that zone right there. If we get that, perfect. If we don't get that, it's got to wait. Let's see. Maddie said going back to news price for an SR buy entry, you would need it lower than opening price or a new zone. Yeah, no, I agree, Maddie. We either need a new zone or we need price to drop below here because we don't have any space to take any trades. There's just too many red flags around this area. We got news price, we got opening price, nowhere for us to take any entries. It's only 7:15, guys, so just sit around. I mean, you know, we might just, if we sit around long enough, we're probably going to have something come up like closer to 8. I'm looking for at least one good entry, though. At least one good entry or maybe even 2. It's got to be patient. There was another high-low entry right here, but this is, I mean, we totally missed it. There was a high-low scalp entry right here. I don't know why we missed it, but we did miss it. So this candle right here, you can see the breaking close past the high-low. I think the main reason we would have skipped this was because the candle was just too big, but there was a high-low scalp right there. This is one of the entries that I was looking for. I'm looking for either the high-low scalp or I'm looking for the K2SR rejection. If you guys are not familiar with the K2SR rejection, it's completely fine. I haven't gone over the strategy with you guys yet. I'll be going over it with you guys today during the mentoring session. So if you guys can attend the mentoring session, make sure to attend today. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So in about 6 hours after the live session. Also, another heads up, guys, the rebranding process may be starting sooner. My IP attorney, trademark attorney for K2, we're just going over the details with the other company that's basically suing me for the name K2. They want to basically monopolize the name K2, which is fine. You know, we're in America, so they trademarked it before me. We've been in this trademark legal battle for like over a year now. Sucks, but I'm going to have to rebrand soon. So we're going to start the rebranding process probably this week, if not next week. So if you guys are not part of the K2 Premium, if you guys don't have access to the indicators and you guys want access to them, you know, this is your time, because once the website goes down, you guys are not going to be able to sign up or have access to it. So I'll tell you the name when it's done, Patricia, because I don't want someone else to come and steal it or hold the name for ransom, because that's typically what happens, right? You tell somebody a new name, someone's going to go and buy the domain. I already bought the domain though, so it doesn't matter. Someone can't buy my domain, but someone's going to go and try and steal the social media handle and stuff like that. So I'll let you guys will see the new name. It's not going to be a huge difference. Just think of it as me being included in the name, because I'm not included in the name. If you guys are not familiar, K2 stands for my two dogs, Kodi and Kai. So that's what the K2 stands for in the company name. The new name will just include me. So it's not going to be a huge difference. It's just going to be me plus the dogs. So you guys will see the name up soon. I bought the domain yesterday. I'm just going over the details with the other company. It's basically a huge hedge fund. So there's another hedge fund out there called K2. They're a huge billion-dollar hedge fund. They're like backed by Trump. They're backed by a lot of the previous presidents. I had no idea they had the same name. And it's weird that I got on the radar. So like, you know, I'm a small company, like K2 is a small company. I didn't realize people actually knew about K2, but if a huge hedge fund like that, if I got on the radar, I mean, I guess we must be doing something right with these scalps. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a huge legal battle ever since I started trading live on YouTube for the past couple of years. That's when they started to hit me with these lawsuits, and it sucks. I put a lot of money into these lawsuits, and it's going nowhere. So it's just time for me to rebrand. That's another reason why I kind of changed my trading style for a while. So a lot of you guys are wondering like why I kind of went to intradays, because I've been handling these lawsuits for like the past year, and I didn't have time to scalp all day. So now that I'm clearing this up, I can go back to scalping. All right, we have price coming down right here. This is perfect. So we got this coming down right here. Price is rejecting off this point. And you guys could probably, let me see if I can find it here. K2, let's see it. Yeah, you guys could probably, no, I mean, there's a specific thing that you could look up. Like there's a, yeah, I don't think it's public right now. A lot of the legal files were up on I searched them up myself, but I had the links for them. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you exactly who, but Madhu has is kind of I do is spot on. I'm not gonna tell you exactly who's suing me, but yeah, they're basically $1 billion hedge fund, and for whatever reason, we got on the radar. Uh, yeah, I can't discuss any open litigation, but yeah, I don't know how we got on the radar. Someone spotted K2 and basically ratted us out, and now we're dealing with that for a year. Anyways, price is down here now. This is exactly what we were looking for. So Maddie, price is right back to where we were waiting for. Oh crap, what I do. There's a zone here that keeps, okay, so there's a zone here, it's a bigger zone. I'm just gonna draw it up right now. All right, so possible sell entry right here. The trend meter turned red, but it's not consistent yet. So just keep that in mind. So let me check this real quick. Yeah, so I'll be looking for any possible sells here, but I don't think I'm going to take them because it's not a, so this is why I keep the pivots up, because the trend meter here is red, but it's not like consistently red, right? It's just like temporarily red, and it looks like it's going to swing back up. So I'm not really looking to take this here yet for a sell. I personally would rather take a buy, but we'll see. Where is it going from this point? Yeah, no problem to do. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, you've seen, like, you've already gone on the website, so you see what kind of company they are. They're a $1 trillion hedge fund, and I don't know how K2 got on the radar, but they don't want me using the K2 name, so whatever. Gotta change it. Even though K2 has nothing to do with them, like we're not even a hedge fund, right? We're like, K2 is basically like an educational platform, but still. This is not a strong red candle, guys. It's like a doji, so I wouldn't take this here for an entry. You guys can see same wick on top, same wick on bottom. It's just a small body in between. This kind of lined up as a doji. It's also at opening price right here, so not one that I would take. So still no entry right here. I personally would look for a buy because the overall bias is still bullish. And there's no trend meter here as red either. So this candle right here, even if it was to close as somewhat as a strong red candle, trend meter has to be red. So still no entry off these here. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Sean, for yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, there's another company called yeah, I see it right there. There's another company right there. Same name. All right, if this closes here with the buy signal, guys, possible buy entry here for SR scalp. The only problem is that it's close to news price, so you have to make sure that you get out. Like, don't hold on to it. You guys got to make sure you get out right away. I know the trend meter is in green, but pivots are still bullish. So we just got to make sure this candle here actually closes pretty strong and it closes with the buy signal. If it doesn't, then no entry. But if it does, then possible entry. I might just sit out on it though, because it doesn't look like it's going to close strong. It's yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to close at all. Yeah, no. But yeah, I just saw that message that you guys posted about the fund here. Like, that's the crazy thing that I'm getting sued about, like the K2 name. There's a lot of K2 names out there. It's not just like I'm the only one using K2, right? There's like K2 and Associates. They might be working with them, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't gone after these guys. These guys are an actual hedge fund. I don't know. They're also not located in the US, so it is what it is. But yeah. Okay, so this right here might be another one, but this isn't, I mean, it's going to be so close to the, yeah, it's too close to the news price right here, unfortunately. It's literally at the news price, so I'm not going to take this here. What I'll look for is if price retraces down and comes back up, maybe for a late entry, like a second retest. But right now, I'm not going to take it. It's literally lines up with the red flag right here. When to avoid trades and prices near news price. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits though. We got another SAR zone up there. So this would have been a solid entry because we did have the wick rejection right here off the structure. We have the buy signal there. Trend meter was green, but it's right at news price. So one of the main red flags. Also, the candle is too big, so it has to retrace a little bit. I'm not going to FOMO into it. I'm just going to let it be. It's just not in a good area right now. If it drops lower, there might be a trade within the trade, and that might be something that I might be okay with taking. So I'm just going to follow it. It's okay if it runs down in a drawdown, because if it pulls down lower and I get another entry down here, then great. Take that for a late entry. I just want it to be far enough from the news price right here where I can get in and out without any issues. So no entry off this, guys. I mentioned right here, it's right at news price. I'd be fine if it drops down lower and then provides another entry within the entry. But right now, no entry for me. Yeah, it's too close to news. So this is cool right here. I want this to drop a little more. Oh yeah, but we do have news coming up right here. Thanks, Madhu, for the heads up. We do have news coming up right here. So it just might not even be another opportunity for us to take just yet. News price, and I'm just gonna sit out and wait. So I'll leave this in, right? I'll leave this up here, guys. I'm not in this position though. I'm looking for a trade within the trade. So I want this to pull back a little bit, have another rejection off down here, and then, you know, possible entry as it continues to push up. But right now, definitely nothing for us to take at the moment. Price pretty much just created a new range here, there. There's no wick rejection off the structure right here, so this isn't going to be considered an entry. Here is the news candle right here. Not going to FOMO into it. Just going to watch. All right, so Biden is done talking. Perfect. Just taking pictures now. We'll see where this goes. It looks like there's a small wick below there, so. But it's still too close to news price. And this is actually a news candle as well. So let's see, we got news coming up right there. This candle is closing in about 19 seconds. So if this closes, we'll be able to identify the news candle. All right, news was negative. Thanks, Peter, for the heads up. All right, news candle right there. Delete this, clean it up a little bit. I mean, either way, it's still at news price, so it's not going to be beneficial for us at all right here. either way, we couldn't take the entry even if we wanted to. This would be a possible entry right there, but it's like literally at news price. All right. So I wouldn't really mind if it pushes down lower. I actually would want it to push down a little lower so that we could have a space down here, right here, where price currently is at the moment. There just isn't anything for us to take right now, because there's too many red flags. So this again right here would be another entry off that, but it's right at news price. So again, same red flag. It's literally at news price, and it's rejecting off that pink line, which is news price. So there would actually be two entries right here. I'm going to keep following it. Yeah, and price is going sideways as well. So another reason why not to take a trade, red flag, would be price is ranging. So it might be a little hard to see on here, but you can see on here a little clear that it is ranging. I mean, it's literally in a range, nothing going on here. You can see the second entry is probably going to hit TP. Yeah, Maddie said too many red flags around this area, basically just gambling. And the trend meter is also blue, it's not green. Yeah, thanks, Sam, for the other confirmation. There's just a lot of red flags. There's no reason to take any of these trades. I'll follow them and we'll see if they hit, but just like everyone else said, there's no reason to take any trades right here. It's just too risky because too many red flags plus the requirements here aren't even met. We're just using the pivots over here for the bullish confirmation. And I wonder how much the price moved from today. So let me go over here and mark up. I'm gonna mark what I normally mark up. 6:30 market open. 7 and 8. So yeah, just looking at price over here, if I take off the indicators, you guys can see that there hasn't been really much movement at all. Price kind of just ranged around this area and then back into a range right here. The movement from opening price right here, prices technically only moved 270 pips. That's literally nothing, right? Price did push up a little bit, like about 800 pips. It hasn't pushed past 1,000 yet, but currently right now, if you match opening price to current price, it's only moved about 300 pips max. Not really much movement at all. You guys can see here the full TP hit off that other entry. Looks like the full TP off the other one's going to hit as well. So this is just confirmation that the strategy still works perfectly fine. It's just there's no clear entries to take. Too many red flags indicating that it was a risky entry. But if you took either one, this one would have hit full TP right away. And then this one over here retraced a little bit, but it looks like it's about to hit full TP as well. So I mean, that's a good sign. Strategy still works perfectly fine, even during these crazy conditions and red flags, but it's not trades that I'm willing to risk. Almost there. Looks like this is going to hit TP as well. So basically two back-to-back full TPs right here. Again, right there. So all of them hit full TP, the risky entries. Not a risk that I'm willing to take, but these still are playing around. See, Brock said. Barack said, good day, Sean. How soon do you foresee completing the process migration rebranding? I don't want to be left back. Please, I need it. So the rebranding process can take months. Yeah, so Brocco here is basically just asking me, how long the process may take for the rebranding of K2. It's going to take a while, guys, because it's not just like one little thing. Like I got to change the entire company name, logo, website. I got to change stuff with the state, with the IRS. I got to change a lot of things. And I'm just one person. So, depending on what team I hire to do this for me, it could take months, if not, I don't think it'll take more than a year, but it'll take a couple months for everything to really transition. So if you guys haven't signed up for K2 Premium, you guys haven't had the indicators or have access to the live sessions, when the website's down, it's going to be impossible for you guys to sign up. So, I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Now, I'll keep warning you guys every day. I know it might get a little annoying, but I don't want people to complain like a few weeks later saying that they didn't know that rebranding was happening. So just a heads up. But anyways, no entries for us to take right now, guys. Unfortunately, both of the trades did hit. Fortunately, they hit, but unfortunately, we didn't take them because they were too risky. So both of these SR scalps right here did hit full TP. As I mentioned, we'll go over this during the mentoring session later. You want to confirm the trend. So the trend meter is usually going to be your initial indicator to identify the trend. But if you don't have that there, you're going to use the pivots. Typically, you want them to align, like you want this to be bullish and you want this to be bullish as well in order to take any of these SR scalps. But if this isn't available and you can see that it was already bullish prior and it's blue, you can just use the pivots here. Pivots are bullish. Reason for that is because the green pivot is above the red one. So pretty much all of these pivot scalps over here that came up, like literally every green candle right here would have been an entry. The only downside to this here is that the only difference with that here is that this this was right next to news price. So we wouldn't be able to take any of these entries, even if they came up. Yeah, Charles said it's looking like another day of discipline. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm still waiting though, guys. I really want to take at least one trade. So I'm going to be sitting on here for a while. I'm waiting for one trade at least to lock in. I mean, the main thing here that's going to be our issue is that news price is right here. So if news price wasn't here, that'd be perfect. But you can see where price is rejecting from. You don't want to mess with news price, right? If you're taking a buy here, you might get caught in you just might get caught in one of these retracements. There was actually 3 entries here for the SR, guys. So there was one right here, this big one, right? Let me just show you guys real quick. There's actually a lot of entries that came up. It wasn't just those 2. So we had one right here. This is the big one. There was another one right here, wick rejection off this point. That's 2 entries. Another one right there. I know it's like a little doji, but if you want to take it as a risky entry, that's 3 entries. Another one right here, a 4th entry. So 4 back-to-back wins right there for these K2SR rejection entries. The only problem is that we had news price right here. So that's like the main red flag. Unfortunately, we couldn't have taken those, but because there's another news price right here. So news price, it's just not areas for us to trade in. But if there was no news price there, you could have taken all 4 entries. That would have been a full profit of 400 pips. So 4,000 in profit down the drain. It's all good. Just got to wait for a better entry here. So let's see. Brock's asking, when is the website going down? Depends on the other company. All right, guys. So Barack is asking, when is the website going down? So part of our agreement is that I'm going to be giving up the K2 domain. So the K2trades.com website, I'm not going to have access to that. That's the reason why I'm telling you guys to sign up now if you guys want access to it, because once it goes down. So there's another scalp right here, guys. It's a pivot scalp. See if it actually pushes up. The red flag right here is going to be news price again, as no surprise there. The red flag is news price right here, but it was a pivot. Actually, no pivot scalp entry because the trend meter is red. Actually, no. So I take that back. Pivot scalp entry, but no intraday entry because the intraday entry would require a green trend meter, but price is above the pivot, so it'd be a pivot scalp entry right here. Thinking about maybe I'm gonna watch it and see if the price comes down a little bit. If it comes down a little bit and comes back up, maybe I'll take it for a partial move. But right now I'm just gonna watch it. Gotcha. Yeah, Maddie said red flag might push up to the higher SR zone. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, it is a red flag right now because of the, for one, news price, but it might push up to the next zone. That's like target, you know, area where it's going to push to. So we'll see right here. I'm kind of tempted to enter it, but I know it's not going to be a good entry. This would be considered a FOMO entry if I do enter it. I'm going to watch it here on MC4 because the candles are a little more clear. I'm going to see how far it pushes up because maybe I can just take it for a partial move, not necessarily the full push. So I'm watching it over here on MC4. See if it pushes up higher. It's halfway there. Just watching it. And the volatility is too low. Typically, this will like hit TP like right then and there. Just gonna keep watching it. There's no zones around this area either, so there's no opportunity to really take a different entry point. Spread's kind of high. Full TP right there. And sorry guys, I FOMO'd into that trade. I always tell you guys not to FOMO into trades, but I FOMO'd into it. I only caught a partial movement though. All I caught was, and that trade's not going to count obviously because I told you guys not to. It's just too risky of a move. All right, this isn't good. FOMOing into this stuff, but MJ said LOL. I took that too. I know it's tough. I've been waiting on this entry for like MJ said Vegas mentality, baby. Yeah, MJ's out in Vegas right now. So as I mentioned, I was going to take it for a partial move. Right here, price retraced a little bit. As it got down to this halfway mark, I entered for a half move. I only locked in about 350. There was a spread. I mean, I had to cover the spread. So I was technically supposed to lock in 500. I locked in 350 off my main account, 400 off my FTMO, copier, 360 across all my MFFs. So this trade is not going to count. Even though it was a pivot scalp entry, it's not going to count because it's too risky of an entry. But I'll still be waiting for you guys. So don't worry. I'll be waiting around for a little bit longer. I want to get an actual solid entry. I know some of you guys are gonna get mad that I took that, but sorry guys. The FOMO got the best of me. You guys can see the trades are still hitting. There's just too many red flags. These news prices are just super annoying because they're so close to each other and price hasn't gone past them. If this news price wasn't here, this would have been a perfect entry because it would have been a rejection off the structure here. So it'd be a K2 SR rejection, and it's also a pivot scalp. So basically you have two high probability strategies lining up with each other. Odds of it hitting, very likely. So that's why I decided to take it. But it's not a good move. That wasn't a good, I'm not setting a good example for you guys because I always tell you guys not to FOMO into trades. And here I am FOMOing into trades, but it happens. So I'll take a screenshot of my profits real quick just to show you guys which ones I took, but I don't recommend you guys do that unless you guys are very confident about the position, which I was kind of confident about. Take it. If not, just wait for the next one. So what I'm looking for right here, what I want to happen is I want price to either push above here so we can get some SR rejections above this point, or I want another zone to create down here so that we can actually catch it as it bounces off this point. But right now, there just isn't anything at the moment, right? It's just pretty much flat. All right. Got this right here. But yeah, guys, back to what I was saying before about the rebranding. I'm, part of our agreement, I'm going to be giving over the domain. So the K2 Trades website, k2trades.com, it's not going to be accessible. Once I give them the domain, they can do whatever they want with it, right? So if we can agree to have a forwarding, or like you guys type in the website, goes to my new website, then you guys might have access to it, but we haven't really discussed that yet. Let's see, Deswell is asking if I have, sorry, 1 second, Deswell. I just want to screenshot all the profits real quick. So Deswell is asking if there's a separate subscription just for the indicators. So unfortunately not, Deswell, because the thing is, when people get the indicators and say, for example, this SR strategy, right? This SR strategy comes out, you're going to need access to the mentoring session, right, to understand how everything works. So that's why everything's kind of bundled together. That thing could kind of, it's not really, it can be separated, because you don't want to have the indicators and then not have access to like the mentoring sessions where you can actually learn how to apply the strategies. So there won't be, it just won't be accessible that way. So unfortunately, there's no separate subscription for just like the indicators. It comes basically bundled together, so you have access to the groups. I mean, you're technically getting it for free. That's really what it is as well. When you're doing the strategy subscription. Question from Jason. Jason's asking, will you still be on Telegram? Yes, I will still be on Telegram. I don't know if I will be migrating everything to Discord or something like that. I mean, since we're doing the whole rebranding process, we might just migrate everything over to another platform, or I just might change the names of the Telegrams and we'll just keep using the same Telegrams. So there's no, yeah, Patricia said, no, Discord sucks. We might just stay on Telegram because we have everything on here already. Yes, that's it. For the love of everything, don't do Discord. John said, Discord is so hard to navigate. Yeah, I agree. I never liked Discord. That's why we never made the transition over. So we're probably just going to keep using the same groups, Jason. The names will just change to the new name. And here's another obstacle. I'm going to have to be able to, it's just going to be, I need to be able to warn everybody, because like I already know all the scammers are waiting to like find out what the new name is going to be so that they can try to scam people for the new name. But a lot of stuff is not going to change, guys. It's just going to be the new, the name's going to change. Website might be a little different, but our whole process here is going to be the same thing. I'm still going to be trading live every single day. It's just people won't be able to sign up. That's going to be the main difference. People won't be able to sign up, and but you guys are fine. If you guys are already here, it's completely fine. Our trading is going to be the same. Nothing's going to really change too much. It's just going to be, you're going to see a new logo, which is probably going to look pretty much the same, just with the new name. But yeah, Eunice, if you have the indicators and everything, you don't have to do anything. If you guys are already part of the live, like if you guys are already part of the premium, you guys don't have to do anything. The only difference is if you guys want the indicators, you guys would have to upgrade ASAP, because once the website's gone, you won't be able to upgrade until it's done. And this process could take 3 to 6 months. So unless you guys want to wait that long, it makes sense for you guys to upgrade now. I'll try to get everything turned over as soon as possible, but it just depends on the team I'm working with for rebranding. Yeah, Kello said, don't use Discord. That shit's weak. Yeah, no, I'm not going to use Discord. The only reason I wanted to use Discord was to avoid scammers, but there's a lot of scammers on Discord already, so it's not going to make a difference. Whatever platform you go to, scammers are going to show up. Yeah, exactly. John said, Discord is full of scammers. Seth said, if I wanted to buy the annual package, how could I do so? Yeah, Seth. So if you wanted to do that, you just go on the K2 website. So here's the current K2 website. I'm not sure if the new website is going to look the same, because I got to change the entire name. Like this K2 Trades is going to go away. Everything that says K2 is going to have to go away. It's not going to say K2 anymore. So if you guys want to upgrade to that, you can just go down here, go to the website, kttrades.com, go to annual right here, click on this. It's a discounted rate if you do this. You just click subscribe, and then it'll take you to the page to upgrade. Once you upgrade, you can go on the website. So just click on it here, sign in, and you can go under your billing settings and just cancel your previous one, or it'll just automatically cancel once you upgrade. Seth said, what if what if the website is down? Could I contact you? Yeah, you can probably contact me, Seth, and then we can work it in within the system. But if the website's down, then it's going to be a bit more of there's gonna be a couple loops, because like if the website's completely down, everything's going to be down. So I can't even upgrade anybody. I can't get through the system or anything like that until we have a new domain transferred over. So that's why I'm saying right now, because I don't like, it's fine if you guys are already set up, but if you guys want to have the upgrade or change anything, I'm not going to have any control over that, because I got to hand over the entire website. So like basically this whole website here, kttrades.com, if you go to this website once it's down, you're not going to have access to it. So it's really just getting in now. You'll have access to everything else once you're already in, but it's just new people getting in and out and navigating through there. It's not going to be possible. All right. Thanks, Maddie, for the update right here. We have a pivot scalp possibly coming, or intraday. I don't think I'll be taking that though, Maddie, because it's a little bit like we didn't get the rejection right here. Price came down and rejected off this point. I'd have a better confidence in taking the buy there, but I think price might just keep retracing down. Question from B. B said, what's going to happen if our subscription runs out while it's down? So if it runs out, you're going to lose all access, B, and then you won't be able to renew it until the website's back up. So you just want to make sure everything's all set in order, because like this is my first time rebranding. I don't even have a team that's going to rebrand for me yet. So I need to go search for a team to rebrand for me. I don't have any idea how all of this is going to play out. All I know is that the website's going to be down. So the only way to really upgrade or renew or sign up is going to be through the website, right? I don't do anything outside of it. So with it being down, it's going to be like basically impossible for anybody to make any changes. So yeah, just make sure there's nothing wrong with it. Or if you think there's something wrong with it, just message me, and then we can probably figure it out before the website goes down. But nothing's going to change. YouTube's going to be the same. I got to change the YouTube name. The Zoom's going to be the same. Everything's going to pretty much be the same. It's just the website's the main thing. Yeah, that's fine, Patricia. The monthly is okay. If you guys are already signed up to everything, it's perfectly fine. This is just a warning to like new people or people who want to upgrade. But I mean, if anything was to happen, Patricia, you're fine too. You know, you've been part of K2 as well. Miriam said, what happens if we have a direct debit in place? Whatever you guys already have in place is completely fine. Nothing's going to change. It's just for new people, Miriam. So if you guys are already in the premium and you guys have everything set up, nothing's going to change. It's just I won't have access to go in and out of it to make changes. But if you guys are already in it and you guys have access, you can still go to the course. You can still have access to the Telegram. You can have access to everything. It's just so the problem with this is that these are two different websites, right? So if you go here, this is the main website, kttrades.com. If you click on any of these here, like if you wanted to subscribe or anything like that, it takes you to a different website. This is different. This is Teachable, right? So that's why you're fine if you're already in it, because you can go in and out of this page. But if you're on the like the main website, this is what's going to go down. So just to clear up any confusion there. They're separate websites. That's what I'm saying. If you guys are already in it, you're fine. But if you're not, there's not going to be a way for you guys to upgrade. So just heads up. I'll keep warning you guys every day for whoever is here, like on the YouTube. I know a lot of you guys here are on the free YouTube, which is fine. The YouTube might have to go down for a while though, because I don't know if I can just change the name or if I have to create a new channel. All right, so we got another zone right here. Okay, this is exactly what I've been waiting for all day. We got the new zone right here. We got the buy signal coming. We got the trend meter green, pivots green. Everything's looking good. We have a couple minutes till 8. So if this pushes up right here and then we get a wick rejection off this point, hopefully we can take at least one solid entry. If not, just gonna have to wrap it up. So guys, if there's any other questions, you can probably just hold off until the mentoring session later today. Because we can go over this stuff in detail over there. Yeah, no buy signal. All right, so just a heads up, if you guys want to sign up to K2 or if you guys want to upgrade your stuff, whatever you guys need help with, getting through that whole process, the rebranding process is going to start within the next week or so. I just got to go find a rebranding team to help with that. If you guys want to sign up, just go on the website, k2trades.com. If you guys go on this website and the website doesn't show up anymore, that's because the rebranding has started. I'll try to give you guys as far as a heads up as possible, but there's no timeline for when it's going to start. Basically, whenever I sign the agreement, whenever the other company signs the agreement, that's when the rebranding will start. And it can start within the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, next couple of months. We really don't know until that happens. So, all right, man, let's wait for this trade right here at 757. I'm hoping this closes with the buy signal. We need that buy signal. So that's key right there. First of all, we need the buy signal. Second of all, we need the rejection off the structure and then a continued push to the upside. So don't jump the gun, guys. Just wait for it. Looks like price is pretty much ranging right here again. You just go and update this. So the range is pretty much right there. It's just range, not too much going on. All right. Let's see. Question from Maria. Maria is asking, are we going to have mentoring session in the afternoon? Yes, we are, Maria. So in about 6 hours at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we will be having our mentoring session today. So if you guys want to go in detail regarding the strategy here, the K2SR rejection, we will be covering this in detail at that time. So just FYI, if you guys want to learn about this or master it or really understand how it's applied, today's going to be the day to learn. If you guys can attend, the session will be recorded, so that's fine. But if you guys have any specific questions on it, feel free to put them in the chat or message me or email me. Another thing too, so since I'm giving up the domain, guys, my email is not going to work. So we're going to have to transition that as well. My email right now is sean@k2trades.com. If I give over the domain, I'm not going to have access to that email. So I'll try to give you guys a new email when that happens, but the rebranding process is typically, it's a bummer. That's why usually when you see a lot of companies rebrand, they just shut down for a couple months. For me, we're still going to be running because we're going to trade every day, but it's going to be like temporarily shut down for like new people who want to sign up. That's just going to be the thing there. So right here, we're still waiting for another entry. I know it's past 8, guys. But I'm going to see if we can get at least one good entry here because possibly it might come up, but if not, it's all good. But let's see if this here closes. We're just having a lot of zones over here popping up now. It's getting close to the sessions though. So we got this right here. Let's see if this closes. And then if this does close, we need a rip projection off the structure right here and then possible entry. So let's see, this candle here is huge though. It's way too big. So I wouldn't take this for a pivot scalp entry or for a intraday. Yeah, and there was that bullish push. Let's check the sentiment out because there's a lot of people who are looking to sell, right? So sentiment was at 69. Wow, it's crazy. So it's pretty high. Whoever was entering this for a sell is getting burnt right now, like super burnt. Yeah, damn. This, like, you can see a lot of people here are just trying to take the top, right? Like everyone's here trying to catch the top. And basically this thing was like, nope. And it just shot all the way up and basically stopped all those people out. Or if it didn't stop them out, they're just in deep drawdown. So basically just imagine that if you guys took the like basically the buy right, if you followed into this move, you're in drawdown almost 3,000 pips right now. So don't chase what everybody else is doing. Everyone's selling. We're trying to do the opposite and buy. Unfortunately, again, there's another entry right here for a SR scalp, but it's right at the sessions. And it's 8. So not a good look. All right, guys. So I think this will be it. Unfortunately, today was another slow trade. Not well, yeah, it was slow and just not a smooth trading day at all. So there's no entries for us to take. No official entries today or yesterday. We had some pretty good ones on Monday, so that's okay. But other than that, there's no other entries here that have come up. As you guys can see right here, this is one that would have closed and would have been okay if we didn't have the sessions right there, but it was literally at the sessions. Right here, we had the wick rejection off the structure, buy signal, indicating momentum to the upside, trend meters green, pivots are bullish. This would have been a smooth entry. The only problem is that it was right at the sessions. So I wouldn't be surprised if this hits TP, but also I wouldn't be surprised if it hits stop loss because the clear red flag. These are all numbered in order of importance. Sessions is number 1. It's right at the sessions. This is definitely a no-no. Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to hit. All right, guys. So I think that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, I will be back here in about 6 hours for the group mentoring session. So we'll be covering this strategy in detail. We can even go back and back test. So like, here's the cool thing. If you guys didn't see the Barack said Discord is ouch, bro. Yeah, I'm not going to use Discord. Thanks for the heads up, guys, in your opinion. So Patricia over here sent in her profit. She locked in a total of 1,950. Nice work, Patricia. Seth over here locked in 5,065. Nice work, Seth. Patrick over here locked in 11,914. Looks like a lot of you guys here took trades, based off my analysis, which is perfectly fine, as long as you guys know what you're doing. Seth again over here, he followed against the bias, locking a total profit of 15,865. Nice work, Seth. Other than that, let's see. John over here as well, currently up 2,160. He took a couple risky entries. Not sure if he wanted to do that next time since the entry had a bad drawdown. So good thing here is that it swung back up. I know exactly which trade you're talking about, John, the one down here in the middle, but I'm glad to see that you held on to it and hit your full TP. Total profit of 2,160. This one right here as well hit full TP. So all the risky entries today all hit full TP. Super, super solid. The main thing I wanted to show you guys was this right here. So Maddie over here gave me his breakdown right here. So these are all the trades from the 8th, which was on Monday. So Monday, he pretty much looked over all the entries. There was a scalp SR. There was about 5 entries, all full TP, 5 wins and 0 losses for that day. So as you guys can see, I mean, this strategy works really well. So as long as everything lines up, you will have almost always guaranteed wins. You trade from 630 to 8. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy how accurate this stuff is. Another thing that I forgot, Alexander sent me. So he sent me his breakdown as well. And I don't know why this thing takes forever to load, but he sent me his breakdown. Okay, so this is his breakdown right here. He literally took all of the scalp strategies, whether it's the SR, V3, V1, scalp, HL, whatever. He, for a whole week, he counted up 36 wins and 1 loss. That's amazing, right? That's a crazy win rate. 31 wins and 1 loss. You guys want to do the math on that? That's so 36 divided by 37. That's a 97.2% win rate for an entire week. Applying all the scalps here. And, he has a data here to show for it. So, yeah, if you guys want to see how this is all applied, just join the room. Looks like a lot of you guys here posted. Okay, perfect. So Maddie over here gave an update. So for August 1st, total wins, 25 wins, 2 losses. August 2nd, 18 wins, 1 loss. Like, guys, I would take the negative risk score if we have this type of win rate. Maddie has the details right here as well. August 3rd, a 16 wins, 1 loss. August 4th, 8 wins, 1 loss. Like literally so many wins here. That's crazy, Maddie. I mean, I'm just kind of mind blown myself. Let me see if we can do the math here. So 25 plus 18. We have the spreadsheet here. So if you guys want to, verify this yourselves, you guys are more than welcome. 16. I just want to see the win rate on this. This is just for like the past week, which is pretty nuts. Or not even the past 10 days. Okay, 5. So there's a total of 78 wins. Let me see how many losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 losses. So we'll do 78 divided by 83. That's a 93.9% win rate, basically 94% win rate for the entire month of August. That's crazy. You can see here there was 78 wins. So basically 78 wins minus 5 losses, or actually no. 78 wins minus 5 losses. That's, sorry guys, 78 wins minus 5 losses. That's a total of 73 wins times 100 pips, because each trade is 100 pips. That's 7,300 pips times it. For me, I'm using a 10 lot. That might be out of reach for you guys. So let's just use something more realistic. So say if you're using a 100K account, you're using 5 lots times 5. That's a 36,500 profit for the month of August so far. If you took every trade, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I think it's pretty crazy, honestly. I'm going to start taking every single trade. But yeah, we'll cover that during the mentoring session. Let's see, we got a couple more profits here. Ross, he's up a total of 1,145. Nice work, Ross. And if you guys want to backtest it, we could do that as well. We could backtest, and then we could go over those actual entries. But I mean, we have the spreadsheets here, so we'll cover it. There's a lot of stuff here to look at. These are a lot of entries here. I mean, even if you didn't take these other ones like the reversal strategies, scalp entries, any of that, there's a ton to look at. Zip said, Patricia, can you DM me, please? I'm not sure who that is. But all right, guys, I think that's it for right now. One thing, I didn't post my own profits. So let me just post my profits over here real quick. Okay, the alarm's going on. Alarms for like 5:30 a.m. All right, anyways, let me just post this up real quick. So obviously my profits are nowhere near everyone else's, but there's a little something over here, something for this morning. So this is my profits, locked in a total of, I mean, it's not very much, but something, right? 350 plus 400 plus 360 plus 360 plus 360. So 1,830 across all my accounts. This is just that partial move I took earlier. So partial profits off the K2SR FOMO entry taken on the live. So, I mean, I'm probably getting crumbs compared to all you guys, but something. Profit's profit, guys. So the good thing today is that we didn't have any losses. That's the main thing. Just keep stacking up those wins, guys. We're midway through the week, so we still have 2 more days to go, Thursday and Friday. So, all right, guys, I'll just post this up right here. And just a reminder, I'll be live in about 6 hours. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to join the mentoring session later. I can clear up any confusion and confirm all of the strategies here that we're applying. So I don't know, Patricia, I don't know if you know this person. There's someone in the group. It's in the public group over here. Her name's InnoZip. I have no idea. I'll tag you in it. Not sure who that is. I don't know if somebody know or any of that, but Patricia said, please send the spreadsheet. And Maddie, is that Pacific time? Yeah, sure. So let me I'll forward it in the group over here, Patricia. So just look over here in the, oops, I sent it to the wrong group. I'll send it right over here. At a spreadsheet or all right, guys. So I'll just post that over there so that you guys can look at it if you'd like. But all right, guys, I think that's it. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so she said it's Becky. I'm not sure. I mean, it's probably your friend, something that you know. She says Becky. All right, so Malik over here as well. So goodbye over here, locked in a total profit of 539. Nice work, Malik. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys back here in about 6 hours. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll answer all the questions during the mentoring session. So I'll catch you guys then, and I'll